Hi, welcome back. So in the previous video I talked about hardness, how to measure hardness. So hardness is basically a property of a material, and in hardness we indent the material using a specified geometry of the indenter, and we apply certain force, and then we measure the indentation area in terms of the projected area. So we basically define hardness as a ratio of the force divided by the projected area of indentation. So in this video I will show you a very innovative and practical method of measuring hardness using a very simple device which we have manufactured. So in this method we have a stage here, and this stage is attached to 3 pillars here, and basically we have got a screw here, lead screw, and this is connected to a motor. So the motor will rotate the lead screw, and because of this rotation this stage can move up or down. So this is the lead screw, and in this stage we have a hole here. So, and we have got ball bearing on this hole here, and through this hole we insert a holder. This holder has got design of this kind, and at the end of this holder we have got a tip which is a diamond tip. This holder can accommodate some weights here. So for example we can attach some weights here. So this weight can be attached to this holder, and this holder, between this holder and the stage there is a free motion because of the ball bearing. So there is a ball bearing and there is a free motion. So if it is hanging like this, so in this position the holder will be touching the stage, but if we push from this side, then so they can detach from, so that means when we push from this side, if there is a force from this side, this holder can go up, and therefore there will be no contact between the stage and the holder. So that means when we are lowering it down, and if there is a specimen here, this is the specimen of which we want to find out the hardness, and if we lower this stage down, so at some point once the tip touches the specimen, so the load will be taken by the specimen. So as soon as the tip touches the specimen, the load will be taken by the specimen. So let's say we have got the specimen here, and this stage will move down. So let's redraw this stage. So for example, let's say the stage is at this position. So that means the stage is not taking this load because there is a ball bearing, so there is a free motion between the holder and the stage. So in this position there is a gap here, and therefore the load that we are applying is being taken by the specimen entirely. So this holder is not playing any role in holding the weight. So this is how we achieve this indentation on the specimen. So first the stage was taking the load, and we are lowering the stage, and as soon as the specimen and the tip, there is a contact between the tip and the specimen, then the load will be taken by entirely the specimen, not the stage. And after 12 seconds of load application, we will move this stage back in the reverse direction, means up, and as soon as the stage comes to this level, it will pull the holder along with the weight up, and there will be no more load application on the specimen. So this is the simple device that we have designed and manufactured, and using this we can measure hardness of any material. So this specimen can be metal, polymer, or even ceramic. So we can use any type of material and we can apply the load, and whatever load we want to apply, we can apply that load, and we can select the time, the dwell time, how long we want to apply the load, and we can actually control this. By controlling the movement of this stage, we can apply the load for any given time, and then we can take the whole setup up. So this is how we will conduct the hardness test, and I will show you in actual machine how we have conducted the hardness test and measured hardness of materials. This is the hardness tester, which is based on the principle of hardness as equal to the force divided by the projected area of the indentation produced on the material. This is the controller which controls the movement of the motor inside this part. The motor can move this triangular stage up and down using a lead screw. This is the indenter holder which also holds the weights used for applying force. The indenter tip holder can freely move inside the stage. Once the tip touches the sample kept at the bottom, entire weight force is applied on the specimen through the tip. As soon as the load is completely applied on the specimen through the tip, the stage movement is stopped. The stage and the bearing inside keeps the tip and weight holder straight so that the force is applied vertically downward. As you can see, one side of the holder has a square pyramid diamond indenter similar to Vickers tip. The angle between the slant edges is 136 degrees. By keeping the holder vertical while the tip rests on the specimen, entire load is applied on the specimen through this tip. The holder is inserted through this hole which has ball bearing inside. So when the holder is standing vertical on the specimen and the tip is in contact with the specimen, entire load is applied on the specimen. We keep 1 kg of load on the holder, so together with the weight of the holder, total load is 1044 gram, which translates into 10.24 Newton when the mass is multiplied by the gravitational acceleration. With the load placed on the holder, we will lower the stage until the indenter tip is on the specimen kept at the base. As soon as the tip touches the specimen, entire weight is applied on the specimen because the stage freely moves down, leaving the holder standing vertical because of the ball bearing inside. The thickness of the specimen should be enough to avoid the substrate effect. In this case, we have kept the thickness of the acrylic as 6 mm. It is important to stop the stage movement as soon as the tip touches the specimen below. When the tip is on the specimen, the stage leaves the holder. Thus, the holder stands with full load on the specimen through the tip. All the load is applied to the specimen only through the square pyramidal diamond tip. Now the stage is being lowered through the motor control. As soon as the tip touches the specimen, total load is applied. We apply this load for 12 seconds and then move the tip holder up by moving the stage up. We follow the ASTM standard for dwell time, which says that the load should be applied for 10 to 15 seconds. Now we will conduct the same test on aluminum surface. So we will place the aluminum surface underneath the tip. You should keep the indentation away from the edge to avoid edge effect. Now again we will apply the load for 12 seconds. Next, we will conduct the same test on brass. So as soon as the tip touches the material, we stop the motor, and after 12 seconds we will move the stage up by again switching on the motor in the reverse direction. So now we will image those indentation marks. So it is very important to image the indentation marks with a correct method. So in this case we are using a microscope. This is called Dinolite. So this is a portable microscope and it has connected software. So using this software we can actually measure the two diagonals of the indentation mark. Since we have used a square pyramid shaped indenter, the mark that we will get will be two diagonals at 90 degrees to each other. And the shape of the indentation mark will be square. So here is the magnification. So this works in the range of 460 magnification. So by fixing this magnification and properly calibrating the software, we can directly measure the dimension of these diagonals. So this is acrylic specimen, and here you can see one of the diagonal is 0.272 millimeter and 0.287 millimeter. So we will take an average of these two measurements and that will be our D. So using this software you can also image. So you can take the image for your later use. Now this is the aluminum surface. If the indentation mark is very small, then you may need another type of microscope which has got higher magnification. So this is the indentation mark on aluminum surface. So at the same magnification, we can see that the aluminum surface gives a smaller indentation mark compared to acrylic, which indicates that aluminum is harder than acrylic surface. Now using this software, we can measure the two diagonals. So one of the diagonal is 0.132 millimeter and another one is 0.137 millimeter. So lastly, we will measure the dimensions, the indentation dimensions on brass specimen. Before hardness test, it is very important to polish the surface very carefully. Otherwise, the indentation mark may get lost in the scratches that surfaces have. So here we can see the indentation mark on brass surface. So one of the diagonal is 0.14 millimeter and another is 0.133 millimeter. So we will take average of these measurements and we will call it D for our hardness calculation. Lastly, we will show you a test on gold. Gold is another metal and here we are using a ring and we will conduct the hardness test on this ring. So this ring is 24 karat gold. So by using the same procedure, we can find out the hardness of this gold material and we can compare it with our other materials like acrylic, aluminum and brass. Now you can see the indentation mark on this gold surface. This gold surface has many scratches, but still we can see the indentation mark. Finally, let us analyze the data. So these are the materials we have just tested: acrylic, aluminum, brass and gold. And these are the diagonals D1 and D2 which we have measured in millimeter. And then we take the average of D1 and D2 which is D. So these are in millimeter. So these are the averages of the two diagonals. Now if we use the equation of force divided by the projected area, then we can get these megapascal. So for example, acrylic has got hardness of 267.1 megapascal and it uses the equation that I have developed in the previous video. And these are the value. This value is for the Vickers hardness. If we use the Vickers hardness equation, so HV is 25.7 and this one is using the Vickers hardness concept and we convert it into pressure. So this pressure and these pressures are quite similar. So this is also in megapascal, but this one is using the equation of hardness which is force divided by the projected area. Similarly, for aluminum we can get this value as the hardness, and for brass and for gold. So gold is the hardest material among these materials we have tested. So this is the method of using hardness tests and to find out the hardness of materials. Thank you very much for watching this video and I hope you have learned something in this video. Thank you.